Yeah, one of the things that you have to be very concerned with in Ontario is the issue of limitation periods. And we have a Limitations Act that has created a general limitation period in most situations, which is 2 years. There can be shorter limitation periods and shorter notice periods under various acts. One of the acts that we have to be concerned about is circumstances where somebody is injured as a result of the negligence of a municipality, for example, on a slip and fall on ice. And in those circumstances, there are notice periods which are as short as 15 days. It used to be that the notice period was 10 days. If you didn't serve notice on the city on a slip and fall on ice, it was not long ago that you'd had no entitlement to make a claim against the city if you missed that 10-day notice period. The law has been changed in the last few years. The Municipal Act has been changed. And now the notice period is 15 days if you slip and fall on ice. If you have a reasonable explanation as to why you don't serve notice on the city within the 15 days, there is forgiveness that is available in those circumstances. But it is very important that you contact a lawyer at the earliest opportunity after you have been involved in those type of situations. And we should always be aware of these limitation periods. One of the things about limitation periods is that in motor vehicle accidents, we have in Ontario circumstances where you don't have an automatic right to sue. In Ontario, if you're injured in a car accident, there is a presumption that you can't sue the owner, the driver, any person present at the accident. And that is subject, in the case of general damages for pain and suffering, to 2 exceptions. One is disfigurement, which in a lot of circumstances people don't have because it implies permanent scarring. And the other is permanent, serious impairment of important bodily function. And if you have an accident and in a short period of time you are still having problems, there is no certainty that you have a permanent, serious impairment. What we have to concern ourselves with on limitation periods is determining when you knew or ought to have known you had a permanent, serious impairment. The limitation period starts to run from the time you knew or ought to have known that you had a permanent, serious impairment. That is something we refer to as discoverability. But notwithstanding, it is very important that you contact a lawyer at the earliest opportunity so that somebody on your behalf is paying attention to the limitation period and giving definition to the nature of your injuries and whether or not you have a right to sue.